Something happened, man. Did you do it? Well, it's that time. The 400, the 1956 Farmall 400. I bought this. I was kicking it with Kiko over at the Osborn auction, not too far from here, and I got a really good deal on this. It was a cold February day for those that did not see the auction video, and I picked this sucker up for 4,200 bucks. Really new skins on the back. The only thing I've done to it is change the engine oil and put a new sediment bowl assembly on there, not bowl and gasket. I changed the entire assembly out, and I'm glad I did. When you pull those off, a lot of times they are shot, and I know there's going to be sharpshooters, but the reality is that for what, 30, 40 bucks, just order the assembly. That's my motto. But I want to get this out and get it on the disc. This is a Farmall 400. It's an upgraded SMTA. And really the difference between the 400 and the SMTA is about 5 horsepower. 264 engine in the SMTA, but they were able to get about 5 more ponies out of this tractor. So in theory alone, it should pull as good, if not better, than the SMTA. So wide front here. I do not have power steering. Tell you, I haven't driven the tractor a whole bunch around the farm a little bit after I put the bowl on there, and boy, it steers nice. It really does. I do have a new Charlin power steering unit that in the event I do decide to keep this tractor, and there's a high likelihood I will, it will go on here. I'm getting a little bit long in the tooth, and I like my power steering on my vintage tractors, especially ones that I'm going to utilize quite often. Let's go, let's show. And I still have the rollover plow on here. A couple of the Zerks actually took grease, a couple didn't. I'm going to throw heat on those and see if that can change their mind. If not, I'll just change them out and go for broke. There's really not a lot to these. And then put a cylinder on it and turn it. Now, let's talk about the tire placement. From my experience, these are 14-inch bottoms. From my experience, you're going to want to, and I have a video on this with my Super C, you're going to want from, I go dead center of the PTO out to the edge of the tire. I like 25.5 inches. If you're in that parameter, 26, 25, you could probably even get away with 26.5 and still do okay with a plow, moldboard plow type, then you're set. These, I haven't even measured them yet. I will. My guess is that we're probably not far off looking. The front is wide. I'll go show you that right now. Yeah, we're wide. We're probably one hole wider than I care for, especially if you're going to use this for field work, not disking necessarily. I'm guessing the last feller that had this probably used it for haying and wanted to make sure he wasn't running over his windrows, and that does make sense. But I think we're golden in the rear. But right here, well, we could plow because we're about even with the rear on the tires there. So, but yeah, I like to move them in just one hole. Let's get it fired up. See if she sounds field ready. Trying to figure out the last time I had this thing started, probably a solid 3 weeks ago. So, how to give you a point of reference? We are out of gear, but I'm in the seat, so we're safe. I think I'm going to go a little choke. See what that does. She sounds good. I do have a little bit of carburetor work I want to do on this. And basically that is going to consist of at least cleaning the bowl. And I will probably put some seafoam in that tank. But first things first, I want to add more fuel. Some people call this mechanic in a can. I call it, it works in a can. Right about there. I just dumped the whole can in. There you go. That might help with the sticking of the float. Now, I promise you one thing. There are zerks on this tractor that have probably not been greased in maybe 10 years. Don't know. This tractor has not been to the field in a long time. I can tell you that. The man is now deceased. That was the previous owner, so I cannot ask him. But when you see stuff like this, caked paint over top of the water pump zerks, they ain't been greased. So I'm going to go through this tractor. I'm not going to bore you with that. And just grease it up, man. That's what you got to do. Well, I got her all hooked up, but this is going to be a different episode. That cylinder, I don't even know if the hoses are any good. Hey, they're peeling. They're a-peeling. But, yeah, and I'll show you why I'm going to hold off on these. Well, I need a 4-bottom plow to do what I'm about to do. Turn field edges in. And over the years, it's kind of had a bowl effect. You will see that. But the old 400, Hana, fast hitch plow. It's that kind of day. Let's go, let's show. So we've made the field. And what I want to do is I want to come here and turn this in, because what's happened over the years is there's a bowl effect because people have plowed out instead of turning the dirt in. And over the years I've just slowly been turning it in, and it's getting better. I've always said 1 4-bottom up through there and good to go, but you can see I have overhangs, and I got overhangs down there, so they got to be cut. And I got to get my pole saw in order to do that. I will spare you that change. Let's go. We're about ready to tear this field a new one. The old 4-bottom. Well, she's fired up. Sounding great. We're already dropped down, so yeah, we'll just swing through here in first gear, first pass. Well, no sense getting too far before you have an issue. This prong's bent, and I can't get this down no matter what I do. Comes in, it's just like this and bends. It's an easy fix. Pull this pin, pull the prong out, throw some heat on it, straighten it out, and then throw it back on there. But I want to plow, man, so I think I'm gonna put the 3-bottom fast hitch on this that it came with. It's the same plow in 3-bottom. It was pulling this like nothing, like butter, so I know it'll do well with the 3-bottom. That's what the guy before me used, so let's get that on there. Yeah, and you can see this one's nice and straight, and this one's got just a little curve to it, and that made a difference, about 1/8 of an inch difference. And these come right out, and I'll be able to straighten that out. And yeah, I mean, what else I could do is just grind about 1/8 of an inch off there and it'd close down, but it still needs straightened out at the end of the day. And right now I don't have time to do it, so let's go check out the other rig. Yeah, Vern must have been calling down from heaven saying, no, if you're gonna plow with my 400, you're gonna plow with my 3-bottom plow that you got for a $100 bill. I sure did. Hana. She's a rolling, and I will throw grease in that sucker. We're gonna grease this bad boy up, and yep. A little stiff, but nothing some grease can't overcome. Yeah. No, I think we're set up, rigged up to roll. Let's go, let's plow. Regulators mount up. All right. Now we got the 3-bottoms. We'll just start off in first. Oh, can't find them, grind them. High throttle. Some people are probably like, didn't you want to do a burn down first? I don't know. Does it look like I needed to do a burn down first? I'm sure you saw what I saw. A little high in the front. That should bring her up a bit. There we go. Gotta watch grabbing this stuff with bare hands. Every blue moon there's a piece of multiflora rose in there. Yeah, the coulters are set right. I didn't really need the coulters. This is previously worked ground, but so I was telling somebody the other day with sod, you gotta have them. Just, it lays over so much nicer. Cover boards. We're really wet right now. I wasn't gonna plow till tomorrow, and then realized I got a different video planned for tomorrow, but sheesh. That is a setup. This is a rig.